Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about the first law of motion by one of the famous influential scientists of all time, Sir Isaac Newton. The first law of motion is the law of inertia. It states that an object at motion will stay in motion and an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon an unbalanced force. Now, I'm gonna show you two tricks that exactly show how the law of inertia works. I have here a tablecloth with me that I will put directly on the table. And on top of the tablecloth, I will put a glass object. And to make it all intense, I will put another glass object on top of this one. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this tablecloth and these two right here will stay as it is. Meaning, it will not fall, it will not crumble, it will not break. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm gonna explain to you exactly what happened. The two glass object on top of the tablecloth is at rest. And there's a little bit of illusion in that. It looks like that I am exerting force on the object, but in reality, I'm actually exerting force on the tablecloth itself. So the two objects still at rest. Now remember, the first law of motion states that an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon an unbalanced force. Now, since my force is exerted on the tablecloth and not the object itself, that's why it stays at rest still. The next trick that I will show you will include a car and an object that I will put on top of the car. In this case, it will be the eraser. Now, watch closely what will happen to the eraser. Let me do it again one more time. As what you have noticed, the eraser fell down from the top of the car. And why is that? Let me explain to you. Now the eraser is perfectly at rest on top of the car, but an unbalanced force was inserted upon it. That's why it fell onto the ground. Now remember, the law of motion states that an object at rest will stay at rest unless an unbalanced force is acted upon it. And that's exactly what happened on the trick that I showed you. Actually, this experience is very similar when we are riding a car or riding a motorcycle and then it suddenly stops. Can you remember the feeling of being pushed forward without any reason at all? Like it's like a force is pulling you towards. That is exactly what happens on the eraser on top of the car. And the first law of motion or the law of inertia perfectly explains that feeling. That would be all. Bye! Have a good day!